In the heart of this Christchurch factory, there's a team building highly specialised and innovative mobile communications equipment.
So MiMOMax is a wireless technology company, and we provide connectivity to utility companies primarily to enable them to connect their mission critical assets.
The wireless spectrum is incredibly valuable, and the technology that MiMOMax offers helps to maximise what companies can do with frequencies they own.
What we've delivered in a narrowband radio channel, so sub 1 gigahertz, is the use of MIMO technology. No one else in the world is doing that. And we can deliver, if you like, more capacity or throughput. So 16 kilobits or bits per second per hertz, which is the equivalent of what LTE 4x4 MIMO is doing in the cellular field, but we're doing it in a narrowband channel. The advantage of that is it reaches further and it's licensed narrowband spectrum.
MIMO, multiple input, multiple output, is a method for multiplying the capacity of a radio link using multiple transmit and receive antennas. The technology allows large quantities of data to be sent at high speed over wireless networks. MiMOMax Wireless was spun off from electronics exporter Tate in 2007 to work on high spectral efficiency radio, and it's still owned by Tate. The MiMOMax offices sit alongside Tate, and it is Tate's factory where the MiMOMax products are built.
We still had access to the resources. We could borrow some of the Tate resources, whether it was equipment or people. We second people into the team as required.
Wade himself came from Tate. He was CFO there for 16 years, and he believes Tate's international reputation opens doors.
When we're selling mission-critical solutions to large utility companies, if they looked at MiMOMax in its own right, a small company on the other side of the planet, they'd see that as risk. But when they see us in our association with Tate, they kind of recognize who we are, what we're about, and have trust and confidence that we can deliver them a solution.
Wade says the connection with Tate also gave it an underlying business infrastructure in the US, where it's providing solutions for some huge companies. Two such examples are the Salt River Project, SRP, in Phoenix, Arizona, and the Great River Energy Project in Minnesota. SRP is the third largest public utility in the US, providing electricity to more than 1 million customers and managing a 34,000 square kilometre watershed, including reservoirs, wells, canals and irrigation systems.
We've got a significant project going in Phoenix, in the greater Phoenix area with Salt River Project, and where they have a high number of endpoints. They're trying to connect assets right out to the edge of their grid. They've got thousands of endpoints, then that's where we kind of play really well.
This multi-year project ties into SRP's grid modernisation initiative. The Great River Energy Project has $4 billion in assets and is the second largest electric power supplier in Minnesota and one of the largest generation and transmission cooperatives in the US. The communications network designed by MiMOMax enables visibility of 7,500 kilometres of transmission line and SCADA connectivity to transmission assets that span a 145,000 square kilometre service area. This project is presently being deployed and is a much smaller network than that designed for SRP. Wade says the company is very much project-oriented and is now working in the multi-point environment, selling hundreds or thousands of radios at a time to large customers.
If you can imagine, our business is quite lumpy. When we have large projects in New Zealand, that's great. More so now, our focus has been offshore, so 80% of our business is coming from offshore, Australia, the US. We've got customers in the UK, customers in the Middle East, and really scattered all over the world.
But even with the Tate Association, support from Callaghan Innovation and NZTE, breaking into the US market on its own has been challenging.
As a new company setting up in the US, there were some little things that were challenging. Getting bank accounts opened, it's not about rocking up to a bank and getting a bank account opened, it just was a long-winded procedure and process. Finding service providers that would kind of look and say, you're from where, and a really small company. So getting recruitment organizations, accounting support, all those things actually were more challenging than what I expected them to be. Having said that, we've got those established now and are kind of up and running.
And Wade says MiMOMax will continue to position itself as a leader in wireless solutions for utilities over the next 5 to 10 years.
It's really strong. So I mean, we've been on a really strong growth path over the last 2 years, and we expect that to continue. Probably running at a compound growth rate of in excess of 100% at the moment. That's probably not sustainable, but our goal is kind of 50 to 60% compound growth over a 5-year time horizon.
The $50 million estimated value of the market, which compelled Tate to spin off MiMOMax, could well be turning into a $100 million opportunity.
So you've got utility companies wanting to invest in modernising their grids with the advent of electric vehicles, renewable energy resources, and the like, and the need to get greater connectivity out to the edge of the network. So it's kind of leading to the industrial Internet of Things, which is kind of where we're positioning ourselves.